Can you start making $100 a day with merch by Amazon? I'm here to answer that question for you today. Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here. And just to remind you, I've made millions of dollars selling on Amazon, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And I mean, I didn't have a ton of money when I got started, so the tactics and strategies that I'm teaching you in this video are the same strategies that I use in order to raise the money for my very first private label brand. And one of the things that I sold, and to this day still sell, are t-shirts. So in this video, I'm gonna not only show you how to sell t-shirts and how to go about starting with pretty much nothing, but at the end, I'm gonna show you an example of a t-shirt that this year alone has made me a total of $2,000 in profit without lifting a single finger. That t-shirt has just made the profit by sitting there all year long on merch. So let's just go ahead and jump straight in. All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna answer is, what kind of t-shirts do I sell? Because I know a lot of people out there will be like, Liz, I have no idea how to design a shirt, nevertheless even know what the hell kind of shirt is popular. And I'll be honest with you, it takes a little bit of practice, but not a lot. You don't have to be the smartest tool in the shed to figure this crap out, especially when you follow these tips that I'm about to give you. The first one being, figure out what kind of current events are happening out in the real world. Okay, so what I'm gonna actually Google here is the 2020 calendar of holidays, because we want to get an idea of what's happening out there in the world and what can we capitalize on. So right away, you're gonna see that in January, it's New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day. Not really a lot we can do. We already missed that. But then we've got President's Day, Memorial Day. I do notice that they're missing Valentine's Day, which is a huge event. I'm even shocked that they forgot Valentine's Day. So what we really want to do is look at holidays. That's the biggest thing. I'm going to just click on a random one, and here we go. We've got some holidays that I don't even know what these count. Like obviously Chinese New Year, big thing, but we're not selling to the Chinese. We're selling to the people in the USA. Groundhog Day. This one is smart enough to have Valentine's Day, and I guarantee you Mardi Gras is going to have a bunch of shirts. So all of these actual opportunities here, or holidays, are opportunities for t-shirts. There's St. Patrick's Day, particularly the major holidays that are honored. Like we've got Easter, and we can look at all those to kind of give us an idea of what we could potentially see out there as shirts. So that's the start. Now I know that on or around the 14th, and I'd probably recommend 2 or 3 weeks before that, there's going to be some Valentine's Day related t-shirts. Same thing goes for Mardi Gras, and same thing goes for something like St. Patrick's Day. So I can jot that down and think in my head, all right, these are potential opportunities when the time is near. But what do we do in the meantime when we don't know anything's coming up? Well, it's as simple as going over to Google Trends and figuring out what's hot right now. So I'm going to go over to Google Trends and show you how I can sort of figure out what is actually going on in the world and how we could potentially take that and turn it into some t-shirts. And right away, the Democratic primaries thing pops up. So that gives me an idea for political t-shirts. So I will go ahead and jot that down. I've made a spreadsheet and I'm putting this in here so that you guys can see that I'm keeping a list of my ideas. As we keep going, I'll keep adding to this. And as I scroll down, there's a bunch of things like Betty White is hot right now. I'm not exactly sure even why. Let's see, turns 98. So there's really a lot of things happening. Peacock streaming, I don't even know what that is, but it's some new service. But nothing really standing out other than the fact that we've got the political Democratic primaries or whatever coming out. So that could be something that we actually make a t-shirt out of. However, the important reason to stay in line with what's going on out in the world is so that if we see a t-shirt that's popping, we know why. So, for example, when there was a lot of people like dabbing, I didn't know what that was at first, and looking in Google Trends, I kind of figured it out. So just call it the old person in me, but I just didn't know why that was happening. But anyways, I don't really see anything else on Google Trends. Now, the next thing, or the next place we want to look, is kind of like a secret thing. I like to look at BuzzFeed products. And I don't really tell that many people about this because there's a ton and an endless amount of great products. Now, not necessarily t-shirts, but in order to just find some ideas sometimes, I have my VAs go actually to BuzzFeed products. And right here, a couple things already pop out. And so this kind of gives me an idea. I know for a fact people just crush it with gay pride shirts. So sounds gay, I'm in. I'm going to go in and put gay pride, and I'm also going to put sounds gay I'm in, so I can go ahead and research that topic on Amazon here in a second. And I'm just going to see if anything else, like Hail Satan right there, for some reason that stands out. I just saw a movie called Ready or Not, and at the end they said Hail Satan. So I'm by no means saying to Hail Satan. I'm just saying if it sells, I will sell it. And I saw, I made it awkward. So here's right here an example of kind of like hitting gold. 18 awesome tops and tees that you can get for under, I'm not sure what this is, but I don't know what that denotes. Let that shit go. I thought it was let that shit go. Sorry about that. So let's see what else. That's a brand name. These are just some flowers and a shirt. So lazy, can't move. So I might just write that down. And it's got like a cute little cat. And I'm just writing down these ideas so that I can later on see how well they're doing. Like somebody wearing whatever on their t-shirt. There was one that initially caught my eye as to why I liked it. I really don't care. That's a good one. So the name of the game is when you see a BuzzFeed article come out like right away, it means that the shirt is hot. I saw, I made it awkward. So, and for this is one that you can put a play on words. It doesn't have to be awkward. It could be a lot of other things. All right, so that's kind of how we use BuzzFeed. Now, the next one that I like to use is Etsy. So I like to head on over Etsy, and I'm going to give you guys a ninja tip here in a second, but I'm going to just click into clothing and shoes, and I'm going to look at t-shirts for women. So it's somewhere around here. I'm just going to click in here, sort by relevancy. Let's see top customer reviews. This is just in general, and we could see what is actually crushing it. There's obviously these Mickey Mouse ones that we should not do. Best papa ever. So that one is like fire, like 14,500 reviews. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go in and put best papa ever here on my idea list. And what that gives me is an idea for Father's Day, which is Mother's Day. And there's also like Siblings Day and all sorts of crap like that. You just have to look it up on a good calendar. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to look at this seller, because chances are if they're one of the top sellers, they've got a lot of other good shirts. And I'm going to take it a step further. Although there's all these shirts they're making, like you could say, wow, like why would I want to make all these shirts, right? And you're going to notice that a lot of them are just text, which is super easy to make. It's not that hard. Like even I could make these. World's Okayest Brother. This one has been really hot on Amazon for a long time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to click on their feedback, because let me show you what that does. On their feedback, it shows me their most recent reviews. So for example, only the best brothers get promoted to uncle. So I want to see, is there any one shirt that they are just selling the crap out of? That's going to give me an idea of what to sell. So far, all of them usually just have one. This one has popped up twice, and you could basically just have your VA go into that and start looking it up. Custom name, the man, the myth, the legend. So I guess you could put somebody's name on there. So that's an interesting one. I don't think merch has customization yet. It says you can't, but with that being said, you could potentially pick a name that is super popular and do this one with the name already. You can't scare me, I have a daughter. Uncle, the man, the myth, the legend. Papa W, the man, the myth, the legend. So again, there's a bunch of these that you can look at. Best auntie ever keeps popping up. Grandpa, the man, the myth, the legend. So you can make a bunch of these and put them up. So I'm going to go ahead and put something like Papa or Dad, the man, the myth, the legend on my ideas here. And Etsy, again, it's full of important and like critical information that could make you a ton of money. A lot of people just don't take the time to pour through all the crap that's on Etsy. But again, Etsy is really crushing Amazon when it comes to the handmade market. So you do not want to ignore it, especially the data that you can get. All right, which brings me to my next favorite tool. And I've showed you guys this one in the past, but I'm going to show you again. And that is Merch Informer. All right, so I'm here in Merch Informer, and I'm going to go straight to a tool that they have called Merch Hunter. And Merch Hunter is where you can search by the top bestsellers. You can do top 100 all the way on up to top 500. So I'm going to just do top 200 for the sake of speed on this video. I can search the different marketplace, USA, UK, all those. And I can specifically say if I want to search for a merch shirt and or just a standard t-shirt, which there's a big difference. And I also can tell it how low or high I want the BSR to be. I'm going to look for shirts under 500K because chances are that those are selling, at least making a sale. Anything over $1 million is probably not selling. And I'm just going to leave the price range on. I really don't care what price they're selling an actual shirt. And I'm not going to search for any keywords. I just want to know what's hot. And I'm going to sort these by sales rank. So I'm going to hit search. And it's going to take a couple minutes for Merch Hunter to come back with all this information. And here we are, bam. Here we go. On the last video I did, it was also Happy 100th Day of Kindergarten. That was hot. And all these Yoda shirts, which are probably copyright infringement. So I expect those to get taken off sooner or later, particularly if they're not Disney and or a Star Wars related brand. Here we are with the political shirts, which basically shows that my intuition or my research was right and political shirts are still hot. And again, the 100th day of school is just like, it's just fire. There's no other way to describe it. Here again, we have some more Trump t-shirts. So in general, in the political market, it's Trump tees, right? That's really what it's hot, what's hot. But I bet you anything that there are some t-shirts that are hot that are not Trump. So if we keep looking, there are probably some t-shirts that are some of the other candidates. So get your crayon. It's the 100th day of school. They got creative with the 100th day of school. And 100 days of school is pretty much where it's all at. 100 days of school. I steal hearts with this dinosaur. Here's another political one. Let's see if we can find promoted to Big Brother 2020. I'm not sure what that means, but Tiger on Saturday, Saint on Sunday. So this is a Louisiana related shirt. This could be copyright infringement here because of the fact that it's like it a lot, but it's kind of gone under the radar. This is a great one that you can actually copy for particular niches. My perfect day, wake up, play video games, do this, play video games. So you can actually relate this to almost any niche that's hot right now. And I would change this up and change the text on it and come up with a pretty good shirt. This one is pretty awesome. I mean, I'm even tempted to buy that one. That one's great. And not really as many actual good political ones as I thought. I do what I want. Here's another Trump one. And again, a lot. Here's Bernie 2020. I knew that was going to be another political shirt, but this is exactly why you can get another political shirt other than Trump that should take off. I mean, there's going to be definitely shirts for every politician that there is. And that's just a quick rundown of what you can do with merch. Now, the next, this one's great too. The next actual place that you can look for these ideas is the Amazon bestsellers. So I'm going to go to Amazon bestsellers and I'm going to go straight into clothing bestsellers, right? So I'm going to click into Amazon bestsellers and I'm going to look over here on the side. I'm going to go to clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Specifically, I'm going to go with shirts for men. So I'm going to click men and then I'm going to find clothing and then I'm going to get shirts, right? So let's see if they have t-shirts and tanks. And a lot of times you're going to get a lot of generic stuff, but if you look through here, you will see some hot shirts that are selling that are not branded. So I usually find one or two in here and then it gives me some ideas. And then you can even further click on some of these. Like right here, this is a youth tie-dye shirt for breast cancer. So that's something that a lot of people are actually wearing. This one is something with Abe Lincoln. So that's an idea of a shirt where you can make a shirt with Abe Lincoln. That's perfectly fine. And there is a chance that I don't find any ideas in here, which is fine, but I still like to have my VA comb them here and there. Here's a Hanes with a buffalo, which I'm not exactly sure if that's referring to anything, but here's a skull and crossbones pirate t-shirt. So I'm not too sure why that's really popular. But if I go specifically in the t-shirts, then I can go ahead and break it down a step further. Another tactic which I've showed before is men's t-shirts and then see what's hot. So we can see that funny always pops up. So we can look at funny men's t-shirts. 5 out of 4 people struggle with math. And there's a bunch of different shirts that we can actually copy. This is not a drill. That one's actually pretty funny. It's actually selling very hot, as you can see. And again, we can now further look into some of our actual shirts that we found out there, and we can actually plug them into Amazon and see like how well are these shirts doing. So is there any other shirts out there like this one? I made it awkward. That one hasn't really sold too much. As you can see, none of these actually have. But if we take out the awkward And it could be a saying that somebody said somewhere on the show. Like sometimes I don't know these. Sometimes that's kind of how it goes. But let me show you guys and share with you finally the actual shirt that made me so far $2,000 it made me a total of $2,000 in 2019. And I think you're going to be stunned at what this says. And I'm pretty sure that it had to come from some site somewhere. I don't know. This shirt right here, I'm pretty sure is my shirt. And still to this day, it's just crushing it and making money every single day. So that's the shirt that I make $2,000 a year on without lifting a single finger. I put it up way back in the day, and still to this day, it collects money. So I hope that I showed you in this video how to come up with ideas for yourself and how to get out there and start making money with Amazon merch. And a lot of these shirts have made me hundreds of dollars a day, and hopefully they make the same for you. Again, if you have any questions or comments, click on the link below. I'll see you all in the next video.